All
Let me
right.
see here. Wow, got all these people on here already.
I know. It's great, including somebody that we've been expecting. So there you
Oh,
go.
howdy. My mom's here. That's who we were expecting,
That's
right?
who we're expecting. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you so very
Welcome,
much for
everybody.
joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of the inner
I think we're getting
circle.
some reverb
That
from
was
you,
me. I
Craig.
just I
Okay, got
missed
it.
that. Yeah, that was me. Sorry. Welcome to the inner circle, everybody. It is Thursday, June 13th, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time it happens to be where you are, because you are watching us right now. Thank you again for joining us. We are glad to have you with us. Before we get started on our inner circle, a few quickie announcements, and I'm sure Robert has some great thing, and Terry have great things to share, as well as everybody else. If you want to share and you want to join us for the inner circle, you could either post your question or comment in the chats, whether you're on YouTube or Zoom. And if you're on YouTube and you want to join us, the link to join us on Zoom is at the top of the YouTube chat. Just click on Robert Hollis where it says Zoom link, and you'll be admitted into the Zoom room. You can either post your question in the chat, post your question in the chat on YouTube or on Zoom, or what we like is interaction. Raise your hand. I don't think there's a song or something close to that. Anyways, um, so what you would do if you're in Zoom is put your cursor in the middle of the screen where you see my face. At the very bottom, there's a couple of buttons, one of which is reactions. Click on that reactions button and then click on raise hand. It will notify us that you have something to share with all of us. If you don't see that reactions button, then go ahead and click on the three dots that are above that is above. Three dots are above, is above, whatever, the more button, and then click on reactions and then click on raise hand, and we will call on you in the order in which we receive you. Thank you again. Shout out to everybody who's helping us grow our channel. We are now up to 7,255 subscribers and ever climbing. Again, we want to get to that 7,300 mark, 8,000 mark, and of course the magic 100,000 subscriber mark. Please help us. Thank you very, very much. And now, without further ado, or a don't, but we like to do rather than don't. I'm being very glib today. We had such a great podcast earlier today, and I can't wait for you guys to hear what we talked about. But in the meantime, it's the inner circle. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert and Terry Hollis.
Thank you so much, Craig. And hi, Matthew. Yeah, we did have a great podcast. I'm looking forward to posting that and allowing you guys see it. And hi, Michael. Hi, Kai. Hi, Karen. Hi,
By
Lisa.
the way, that sorry to interrupt you, Dad. That podcast tomorrow at noon will come out.
Okay.
Just letting you
Okay.
everybody know.
All right. And hi, Jody. Hi, Lucas. Hi, Rebecca. Look how dark and pretty your hair is. Wow, that's dark. That's nice. It's nice. Hi, Ron. Hi, Papa Ron. And hi, Jerome. You should see the horses that Ron has. I mean, big dogs that he has. Melody, Peter and Linda, of course, Coach Bob, and then Peter and Linda. Yeah, there we go. Love you guys. Well, let me first start out to tell you one of the things is we keep making decisions. And again, those decisions are very simple. They're just lessons that we learn. And I know that for a while we decided not to do lives. I said, you know what? I want to do them anyway. But, looking at the data, it is very obvious that YouTube does not like lives. In fact, it doesn't make a difference what we do. Do I believe that they'll change? I do. So we've made a decision. I will continue to do videos, but I'm not going to do lives anymore. And I know that disappoints a few of you, but my goal is very simple: to impact a lot more people faster. And so if we can actually do things to make it so, we recorded the podcast because we're not going live. And you see that this inner circle and imaginators will not be live either. You know what I mean? So even the AMA, we're going to record the AMA and then load it up after. So that's just a lot of stuff that we're doing, trying to impact more people. For those of you that go, oh, bummer, I apologize. Find it in your heart to forgive me. I'm just going to continue to do my best, and sometimes we gotta make changes to do our best. Another thing is, I really want to share with you guys what I want the inner circle to be. We already know that I love this community. I love helping you. And that's where the way to greatness is a service of many. I'm not going to change it all, but understand that inner circle was definitely designed for breakthroughs. It was, you guys looking at everything and basically saying, all of us sometimes learning from each other, because I've gotten the most comments from Inner Circle, and this comic started like this. Wow. That back and forth that you had going with Lisa Marie changed everything for me. So there's a group of people that are all having the same difficulties. And so when they see some of you with you being having courage and bravery for us to communicate with each other, to figure out what that breakthrough is, that's very, very valuable. And so the inner circle for me is, I'd rather have a 10-minute inner circle and no one right now says, hey, I'm okay. I don't need anything. I just know that I got to stop beating myself up, but I know what to do. I know what to do. And I'm working through doing it. I'm working through dealing with all the little voices and stuff in my head, and I'm going to end up doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But what I want for the other people is that I'm really noticing a lot of people that are getting some incredible breakthroughs. And I want to make sure that when they feel like they're like kicking ass, they're getting it, I want them to be able to express to the other people in the inner circle their wins. So you guys always see, sometimes we go into our wins, and then sometimes, we end up talking about other things. But one of my shouts out before we get started is Kyle. I mean, let's be brutally honest here. He very simply found this somewhere where he could be Mr. Health and Fitness. And then what he decided to do is he became serious about it. And when he became serious about it, this guy has been like a dog on a bone. Yeah, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Not once did he think in his head, hey, you know what? I'm going to post in the Inner Circle and the Imaginators again. I just need to remind them that they could vote again today. And that is what I've seen in the change of Kyle. I am so fucking proud of you, Kai, that there was something that clicked in your mind, and you just went, I don't give a shit what other people think. I'm gonna go out, and I'm going to leave a message with everybody. And I don't care if I just noticed they voted. I'm gonna ask them to vote again. And what you're doing, Kai, is what makes me successful in building a people business. I don't care whatever other people think. I know that if 10% of people on Facebook are the only people that I'm going to get, I take 2.9 billion, 10% of that is 290 million people. I do not have 290 people in my group, 290 million. And so I'm going to find the ones on there that are at the right place at the right time. And so, Kai, I just wanted to give you a shout out. I know we're in the last counting hours, the last counting hours of making that happen. And, I believe in you, so I voted a lot. And I just wanted to give you kudos. I just wanted to say to you that when we want something, we just got to go after it. We can't be talking to ourselves and talking out of it. And what I thought was unique about this contest, and I'm not meaning to call you out in any way, shape, or form, Kai, but it's like, am I assuming correctly that the pictures that you show on internet, including your Facebook, that at one time in your life you were in better shape than you are now?
Yes, that is correct. And I am currently getting back into the shape that I was. I'm only 12 pounds away.
Wow.
So when you seen that you could register for this and compete in this, you wasn't in the best shape that you've been in.
No, that photo
So
shoot, that photo, as a matter of fact, was when I wasn't even in shape. I was about a month after the bodybuilding competition, and I just went back to eating pizza.
so listen to this, you guys, because I'm thank you for being so honest, Kai, but you're gonna see that this makes sense. So when you decided that you were gonna sign up for this and see how many votes did you get, was there ever a thought in your mind that I need to become a wonderful becoming?
No,
Let me
I just
explain.
knew that. I mean, I'm already in the process. And honestly, when I signed up with this contest, I was in a very, very mentally dark place. I mean, I was ready to like go. And yeah, when this came up on, I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna play with it. It was for real cool. If I don't get selected, that's fine, whatever. And then a month after, I got an email notification saying that I qualified for this. I was like, oh my god, this is for real.
So not only
I mean, it was literally
so
like
not only
getting a belief paycheck.
yeah, so not only did you put it out to the universe that I'm going for this, I'm going to see how many votes that I could get, but then there was this part in your mind that went, oh my God, if I win this and I get interviewed, I better be in frickin' shape when this happens.
Absolutely. When it all started, my imagination started flooding into me. It was like, how? What if I could utilize this and promote MDC all in one shot, and telling people of my age demographic through the shit that I went through, that they too can change their lives around.
Yeah.
That was the imagination that sparked me to go bloody AWOL with this shit.
So was there any part of you, because see, I'm getting to a good point here because I'm proud of you. Was there any part of you that went, no, I need to be in shape first before I get involved in this contest?
Absolutely not. There are plenty of people in this contest who are not in shape.
So
I mean, there's one guy who's about 45 minutes down south from me, and he is at 20% body fat. I mean, no offense to anybody in the contest or anybody who is in that weight range, but he made top 5. So if he could do it, anybody can. It's all in the state of mind.
Yeah.
are you guys now hearing where all the stuff we've ever talked about happened to Kai? Couldn't have been in a darker place. Says, shit, I'll fill out this form. What? I'm in the contest? Time to change, time to get in shape. I'm going to win this damn thing. If they interview me, I'm going to be in the shape I need to be, and I'm going to get as many votes as I can all day, every day. Let's go.
And the crazy thing is, I was not even when I started. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I started doing a quick video, a 1-minute video with me just my tank top on, and I was not confident about doing that at all. But then I said, you know what? I worked my butt off battling what was going on in my mind, all the things that were going in my situation, and you know what? I feel good, I look good, and I damn fucking deserve to show it. So henceforth, me being in a tank top in the video.
So
But one thing that I really want to point out is that you said Kal Al. You called me Kal Al a few minutes ago. That is the real name of Superman.
Kal Al.
That's the real name of Superman.
Yeah. That's the way I look at you.
Aw. Okay, we're getting into a nerd moment here.
I love nerd moments, man. It's so Kai, there's only one other thing that I want to bring up, right? Now we know we're coming up to on the ticking hour of whether or not you're going to be number one. Okay. Here's the thing. Prior to you knowing whether or not you're the chosen one, can you look back at the last, how long has this contest been going on?
It's been going about for a month, I believe. I
3
got the
months?
qualification in April. I got the qualified notification in April, and it's been going April. Started in June. Now, no, May. Started in May, and now we are in second week, approaching second week of June. And I believe the contest ends officially on June 23rd.
Okay. So the reason I bring this up, can you look at what you've accomplished in the last few weeks and pat yourself on the back?
Absolutely. And honestly, I also want to give a big shout out to Craig Jackman. I was really bummed out a few days ago when I found out that I just hit down to number 2. Obviously, somebody was upping their game, but he just gave me a pep talk and said, keep going. And I just went bloody AWOL with it. Like a mad hatter.
So we all have up and downs in our journey. You got to take a snapshot at the way that I see you, and I know that other inner circle imaginators look at you, Kai. And regardless of what happens in this contest, you are something special. You're unique, and you can accomplish whatever you set your heart to.
Absolutely. And I've been channeling ever since this competition has started. I've been channeling the same energy with connecting with people that I have been avoiding. And, that's how those, extra new 4 people that's just signed up this past 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring you out. For those of you that haven't voted today, please go vote. I'm sure Craig will post in the deal. But yeah, don't you guys all want to celebrate wins? You know what I mean? We all can get on here and talk about, breakthroughs. Hey, I've known you forever, but I still don't know why I'm not doing what you told me to do. And then we got the other group of people that are like, I'm doing exactly what Robert tells me to do, but it's not happening. Well, then you missed the part of loving yourself, getting connected with something greater than ourselves, and imagining and being connected before you connect. And so yeah, it's really, really simple. But Kai, I thank you so much for coming on here. I love the concept of, basically imagining something that you want. Second step is tell the world, and third step is figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
like there's just, people want to do it the opposite direction. That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you. It's like the old Kai that I know, when he's seen that form, the old Kai would go, there's no way I'm getting in this contest because I look like shit. Maybe next year. But that's the old Kai. That's not this new Kai. So don't ever forget when you made the decision to do something great in your life, it happened. So you got the power, brother.
Thank you so much, Robert. My big right now is to donate $1,500 of the winnings, $1,500 worth of the winnings back to the childhood cancer research fund, because I actually used to donate a fairly decent amount of money every single month to them and women's breast cancer research when I was in a previous company, but life went down, and we all know the story from that point on. So, but when I saw that they were actually helping childhood cancer research, I was just like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember that foundation. They used to love me for it. I mean, even though I was donating $25 a month.
hang on, you guys. What happened?
You can go check that if you want.
Okay, let me be right back, you guys.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and
Yeah.
hang on just a second. Let me do that. Kai,
Hopefully everything's all right.
yeah, I hope so too. We are really, really, really proud of you, and just so glad that a member of our inner circle is just involved with this. I think it's awesome. And for those of you who want to vote, I did post the link in the chats. There's one in YouTube and there's one here in Zoom. Click on it. You can do it for free, and it's 2 votes if you do the free. But what helps a lot is when you do the dollar for dollar, and it's a dollar for dollar matching per vote, or dollar per vote, $10 and up. And as Kai has shared, it all goes to research in childhood cancer. So please just go ahead and take a quick moment. It doesn't take that long. And let's support Kai, and let's get him over to the next level. We're almost there. So yes, I agree. Kai, congratulations. And I think we can all agree that we have seen such an incredible growth in you. And just let's keep it going. This is what Inner Circle is all about. This is what Imaginators is all about. Moving up, bringing yourself up higher. And yeah, so we'll do that. I see that we've got Jody Falcon with her hand raised and Coach Bob with his hand up. Coach Bob will go first once Robert comes back. Matt, did you want to share anything while we're waiting?
No,
for your dad?
I think we're all just in suspense to figure out what's going on because obviously my grandma's been not doing well lately. So hopefully that's doesn't have anything to do with her, and hopefully everything's great. If you guys could keep her in your thoughts and prayers, I know you guys have. But we'll see. We'll see when they get back. As far as thoughts that I have go, I'm incredibly proud of what you've done as well, Kai. And I think like just watching you go out and share the message, and it's almost like it's interesting because as you've been sharing and showing the charities and the charity and how much you support it and stuff like that as well. Like I think what really motivates people into action is like a movement or a cause more than anything. And so you were smart not just to dial into your friends and family supporting you, your family here, but like not only us supporting you, but then adding the charitable aspect to it and knowing how important that is for people. Like I think that was very smart. So I think continuing with that, as I've seen you do, like I'm so proud of you as well. So
Thank you so much, Matt. One of the things that moved me a lot with this competition is not only have any of you ever gone to a child intensive care unit and seeing children who are going through chemo?
I've only seen it on, in movies and TV and stuff. Like
Well,
I have
it's
been in.
it's a lot more real if you ever get to see it,
Yeah.
because we are talking about 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8 years who don't know how to respond to chemotherapy, cryotherapy, or even being in that environment to begin with. Children are scared. They are in pain. They don't know how to respond. And when you walk in, you can feel that energy of fear, scare. When you sense it, it eats you up alive. And that seeing that 13 years ago really left an impression in my memory because of all that. And so when I was in the previous business that I was, I was making good money, and I donated $25, $50 every single month to St. Jude's Hospital, who was also connected with this foundation. So yeah, I mean, when you see something, a child suffering through all that pain, you can't help but not to feel it also. And that
Yeah.
is what really moves me.
Well, it also reminded me too, like not only am I so proud of you for doing that, and no, I haven't been through one of those experiences, but I know for a fact it would definitely change. I've lost family members to cancer and seen it happen. So I can't imagine being around people that don't even know what's going on, like children, like you said, like they don't really know. So I think that that's a great cause. And like, what's so interesting about that too, is it was watching you do this stuff was a reminder of like what we're doing here as well, right? Like how we're donating money and helping children out and how we could utilize that more in our message to grow the family that we have here and the community that we have here. Because we really are making a difference. So like, I feel like not just in each other's lives, but also in people's lives that we don't know. So like, it was a reminder just how important like a cause is on top of like your mission, right? Like you can have a
Absolutely.
mission, but a mission with a cause is pretty strong. So thank you so much.
No, thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much,
right.
Kai. I'm gonna grab my phone just for a second over here, see if they texted me or anything.
Okay,
Craig,
go right ahead. We're gonna just kind of hold. We're in a little bit of a holding pattern, so we're going to see what's happening. Hopefully everything is okay. If not, what we can do. Actually, I think what I will do at this point is Coach Bob or Joe. Oh, here we go. Robert's coming back. Robert, I hope everything is all right.
You're muted.
Quite the little disaster. There's apparently a big rock came through our big window in the front of the house and not only blew out all the glass, but then the rock was about this big and then it hit our wall and it actually ended up in the kitchen. So
What?
big giant glass just shattered. There's nothing there.
Oh my God.
How did
So
that happen?
I think I don't want to say it, but I think that Kyle probably hit a rock with a lawnmower and didn't know he did it.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Because
So
all of us.
it was pretty loud, man. We could hear it.
I guarantee it.
And then of course the guys are all freaked out, Dex and Leo. So it's
So mom's okay, grandma's okay, everybody is healthy, everybody's fine.
everybody's okay. Just got a big cleanup, and I hope you guys don't mind this, but I gotta help her. It's
No,
glass
of course,
everywhere.
of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Of
So
course.
I'm just gonna leave this running, and we're with you guys in spirit. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You
Yeah,
bet.
I don't
Robert.
mind staying on. I'll be on here, and I'm sure
Me
Craig as
too.
well.
So,
So if
All
you
right.
guys
I
still
love
wanna
you
talk.
guys. Thank you for understanding.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, Robert. Yeah. Now, Jody and Coach Bob, if you still want to, we can chat just with us. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So, Coach Bob, you were up first. So let's go ahead, unmute.
How's it going, Coach Bob?
Please share.
I just want to say before we even get started with Coach Bob, does everyone feel the weight that just lifted off of all of us, even though that's still bad?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh God.
Like
Oh my gosh.
immediately in my own heart, I'm like, and my dad said this to me too, but there's so many things that happen in life, but nothing's like someone's life being on the line or something important. So it's interesting when it all comes down to it, how something that normally would piss you off or annoy you, like what actually happened, is a relief to me that that's what happened, even though it's still a pain in the ass for my parents, obviously. But in general, it really like brings things into perspective of like what's important in those moments. That's something, I just thought I'd share quick before we got started. Just something to think about. So
Absolutely. All right. So let's move on. Coach Bob, and yeah, thank goodness that the family is okay because it's family first. Coach Bob, go right ahead.
Totally agree. Yeah, I was going to give this question to all you guys. So, let's see. I was going to compliment. I was going to see how Robert's doing on his diet, but I can't do that now.
I'll pass it on to him. He's been doing good.
Okay, good.
We just talked about it on the podcast, actually. So you guys will hear more about it tomorrow.
He's lost
wonderful.
a few more pounds. We'll say
good.
that.
Right.
That's good to hear. Okay, so my question is journaling, right? Jim Rome does it, and then I think I saw a book, Marcus Aurelius, in back of your dad's thing. Was that that book? Is that book? Okay.
So, one of my favorite books of all time.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm talking to the right people then. So
yes.
So I mean, I've tried to journal before, and I do it for a little bit because I'd like to keep, because Jim Rome has all these from every year I hear, and then he keeps that and he wants to hand it down to people that he's learned. And then Marcus, I haven't read that yet. I'm going to get that the book of his. So what do you guys journal? And if you would, and if you do, how do you stay, and what do you put in there? And just how would you go about it?
Craig, you want to go first?
Sure. I don't journal. I probably should journal because of, especially lately with a lot of the things that are going on in my life and a lot of things that are happening. But it's a personal thing. So if you feel the need to, then do so. And journaling is really good because it helps keep your mind clear. It helps to, you can use it for a variety of ways. You can use it to write down inspired thoughts.
Right.
You can use it to write down thoughts that you want to get rid of and out of your head, those little mind worms that kind of dig into you and you can't get rid of it. There's a lot of great things about journaling. And especially it kind of focuses you in on what it is that's going on with you and what you want. Now, I will say I've done emotional journals with regards to acting. And here, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, boy, when you write down how you feel about what's taking place and you just let go, you write exactly what you think. If you're going to use 4-letter words, use those 4-letter words. If you're going to use whatever you want, use whatever you want. It's between you and the book. Do it. And you'd be surprised, first of all, how emotional you can get, because it does. It gets me excited into the role that I'm pursuing. But at the same time, it gets you deeper than what your mind is telling you. You tap into, oftentimes I find myself when I'm doing the emotional diary, as they call it, or journal, you're tapping into your subconscious. You're not limiting yourself. There's no limiting belief when you writing it down, and you write it down in the best way you can. You don't have to be writing it perfectly. You write it so that you understand it. And whether you keep that or whether you throw it out because it's something you want to get rid of, that's up to you. That is a private thing between you and the page that you're writing on. I do believe in it, though. Matt?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think like not only just making it personal, I on and off in my life, when I'm doing well, I normally am journaling. And when I'm not doing well, I'm not journaling. Right? Does it sound like anybody else? So I need to get back to it, of course, too. Lately, I think honestly, if you're thinking about journaling, the best way to do it is similar to like what Craig said, figure out what works for you. Some people will journal on their phone. Some people believe in getting a physical book and writing down in it. And then you can ask like the question, what do I write? Like, what is it about?
Right.
And I would just say, think about what you want to accomplish with it. Like, is this going to be a space for you to let your mind run wild? Is this going to be a space where you put your thoughts down so you can remember them later, right? Like, keeping yourself accountable. There's multiple different ways in my life at different times that I've used it for something else. But I see journaling a lot as a tool. So if it's like, if my mind is going haywire and I'm thinking about a million things, journaling always helps, because then it can kind of help me refine. And like, I was even sharing this earlier in the podcast. I think it was in the podcast, or maybe it was with my wife, but it's like that whole thing of, like when I've been in therapy, my therapist has asked me, I'll say something, then he'll say, describe that feeling to me as if I don't know what that is, like I'm an alien from another planet. And I think that's such a great tool to get to know yourself, because what he's doing in that moment is getting me to describe what that feeling feels like for me. And I think that's what journaling is like, in a lot of ways, you're sitting down and describing your thoughts and feelings in a way that is for you. It's not for anybody else. So you're not trying to write it so someone, and I think this is almost like a detriment to it, right? And I've thought this way too, similar to like what you've said, where it's like, well, maybe I want my journals because I have an ego at that moment in time. And I'm like, maybe one day someone will want all these. They'll want to see where my mind was. You know what I mean? They'll have a museum full of my journals and my thoughts and ideas. But the reality is even those people that get there, think about themselves getting there with their journals, right? Because we don't control our own, I don't know, our own destiny in that sense. But I think if you're looking for a reason to journal and it's been hard, I think it's just asking yourself like why you actually want to and like what you think you'll get benefit out of. Like, I think this is another one of those ones with like meditation. If you meditate, you can ask yourself, what do I want to get out of this? A less anxious mind, a more mind that's at peace. Well, okay, I know what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I know what I'm kind of going after. I'm trying to calm my mind down. I'm trying to get less anxiety, more a sense of peace. So now I'm meditating with a purpose, similar to what we were talking with Kai about. And I think if you're sitting down to journal and you just give yourself the freedom to decide what that is for you, then you'll actually do it the way you want to or not, because it's not really forever. Some people do audio journals. Like they'll have a tape, back in the day, they'd have a tape recorder. Now you can just use your iPhone and just click on a record and say, hey, I was just thinking about this and this and that. And then they'll make an archive of their audio stuff because they're maybe on the go and they don't feel like writing it down. Maybe that process is not for them. But I do think being able to have a conversation with yourself is so important to your journey and figuring out who you are and your mission. And I think journaling is an easy way to get there faster, like to figure yourself out and what you actually want. Some people will just journal and write a pros and cons list, right? It's like the pros of today, the cons of today. That was my today. Or the pros of this and the cons of this. This was my decision. And so I don't know if you wanted to use it for record collection or if you wanted to use it to speak to yourself. Regardless, I think it's a benefit. So
Sure. Okay. Next question.
absolutely.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I wanted to mention before, way to go, Kai. We're all for you. And no matter what place you take, you're a champ in our book. I think you're number one.
Exactly.
Amen.
So if you have a close family member, now this is, so if you have, and every time you can't do anything right for this person, there's, and I don't know if you probably know someone like this, like,
I do.
This wasn't just right, or what you gave me this and this isn't right. So you're just like scared to even do anything for this person because it's just going to be ridiculed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you break that feeling that you get in your head, like, oh God, you know what I mean? I just don't want to deal with this. I'm not dealing with this anymore. But each day I try to start fresh, So, but it gets difficult because, you love this person. It's a person in your family, they might be older. They don't understand enough. They're always complaining. It's too cold. I hear it all the time. So how would you approach this, in yourself? And how do you not hold on to those feelings all the time?
Craig,
Matt,
you want to go ahead first with your wisdom, or you want me to go?
Yeah,
you
go
pass it back
first.
and forth.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I'm still growing my wisdom tree myself. I've experienced this multiple times in my life because I like to create things, and so the inevitability of that is people will go, "Can you create something for me?" And then now you're collaborating, and now you're figuring out, what your dynamic of your guys' relationship is going to be in this situation. And I think in my own personal experience, I go into things going, now, listen, I'm going to come at this with a business mindset. I'm going to try to help you. It's not going to affect our emotional relationship as long as you don't let it affect our emotional relationship for you. And I can help you to the best of my abilities. But truth be told, just like all of us, we have limits. There's certain limits that we're willing to tolerate and go through. And I need mutual respect there for me to even have those limits. And if I show up to the table and there's not that mutual respect right off the bat, or if we can't separate what we're currently doing from our personal relationship, then we just need to not be doing it. We're both not in a place where this will benefit. Like, in a lot of ways, I like to see things, especially with close family members in these situations, I like to see them as like, there are always opportunities to grow, regardless if you are honest with how you feel, because you're not in control of their decisions or their choices. You're only in control of your own. But in those moments, you being truthful to yourself and how you feel. And I've done this, guys. I've done this with my dad, you know? So like there's certain people in your life, in certain times, and you just have to go, listen, I need a little more respect here. I need a little bit more patience. I'm trying to help you out. And if they get upset by you asking for respect, that is totally their fault. That has nothing to do with you. Like if you're asking, they're like, well, what do you mean? Do you think I'm not giving you respect? Do you think that I asked for no reason? So I think it's interesting because it's one of those age-old things, like you teach people how to treat you, but it's going to be different in every relationship. And if they're closer with you, even more so the case. So it's harder when like this person is your family, maybe you've been around them for decades, they knew you when you were younger, maybe you were a different person then, maybe even you were more of a pushover then. So like I've helped a lot of my family members out build things, whether it's business websites or logos or all of these things. And I've done it for free, which I'm sure you've been there, Coach Bob. And it's like, do them for free. And then they're constantly showing up and asking more of you and doing less themselves or being almost like bullies in the situation. You're like, you're not my boss. This isn't the dynamic I signed up for. And so that's when you have the conversation of going, listen, I want to help you with this, but I'm going to take a strict out of our relationship. And if you bring it there, we're not doing it. Because this isn't at least in my situation, this isn't a situation where you get to trample our relationship, right? I'm not going to let you do that to both of us, right? Because I'm going to have resentment based off how you're feeling. If you don't know that, like that happens. So it's like you feel the certain way you do, Coach Bob, because you have resentment towards them for treating you that way.
Right. Right. No, right.
So it's totally, you're totally in your rights to go, that's the way I've been feeling. I don't want to feel that way anymore. Emotionally, I need to take myself out of this situation. And so therefore, if we're having conversations about working on this stuff, they need to be straight to the point conversations. Don't bring in your emotions into it. Don't bring in this and that or my emotions into it. It's not a place for that. So like, I think separation of business with family is normally why people say don't work with your family members. When me and my dad work together, we get all the emotional shit out. And then we start talking about the business stuff. Because truth be told, we've learned in our own relationship that if we're carrying a lot of emotional baggage when we go into it, we're not going to have a good business conversation. We're not going to have a good conversation about figuring out what the next step is to do. Because we're holding that resentment or that anger that we haven't talked about yet, right? Like we haven't relieved. Sure. So that would be my advice, is just come at it. And I'm not going to say, oh, you have to because it's respect for yourself. You're going to figure out what that is for you. Everybody's different. Every person's different. I'm not going to be one of those advocates or people that says if you don't stand up to them, then you don't have no backbone. It's like every person acts and is different. Some people you stand up to them and they treat you even more like shit. So why not just step back? Why do you have to build an altercation for yourself that you don't need to have? You know, you don't need to be there for that. So
well, if they're not willing to respect who you are.
Yeah.
And what you believe, then yeah, I agree with what Matt is saying. In fact, there have been situations where I just back away. It's like, okay,
yeah,
you know
that's what I do too now.
I appreciate what you're saying. It's not how I think. Thank you very much. And sometimes that gets under people's skin because they are the right fighters. They want you to believe the way they do. I'm guilty of that. I think we all are guilty of that at some point in our lives. I remember my sister, my mom's sister who lives in Florida, who is very much politically different than my mom who lives here in California. And it got to the point where they were almost going at each other's throats. And my mom finally said, look, you're my sister. I love you. I respect you. I appreciate you. But she was upfront with her sister and said, if and when we do get together, regardless of where we are not talking politics. Period. End of story. If it comes up, and I'm telling you in advance, if it comes up, then we are done talking for that time.
What is that called, Craig?
That's called respect for the other person's belief.
Right. Respect and boundaries.
Respecting and yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Respect and
boundaries. There, Peter got it. Boundaries. Yep.
boundaries.
So you'll hear people talk about this in therapy and all these different things. If you go to therapy and you have an issue with a relationship in your life, you know what a good therapist is going to tell you to do? You don't have any boundaries with this person.
Yeah.
So the thing is when you make up boundaries with somebody and say, don't do this to me because it makes me feel this certain way, and you can be honest, and then they cross that boundary, they know what they did wrong.
Yeah.
But if you don't make
up,
any boundaries of what you can and cannot do, then they're just going to think anything's allowed, and that's not okay. You guys have seen me make boundaries with you guys where I'm like, I'm willing to help with this, but I'm not going to help you with everything.
Yeah, you have
you know what I mean? That's a boundary I have.
Believe how you believe because of the way that you were raised and the way that you have grown up to this moment in time. And if people are not willing to respect that, then I mean, definitely fisticuffs doesn't work. Yelling doesn't work.
No.
Just be true to yourself and step back. That's honestly one of the best ways to do it. And then if and when they decide to come back to you because maybe they think, oh, you know what, I'm sorry. Great. Let's just set that boundary now of saying, I won't say this if you don't say this, or I won't do this if you don't do that. And compromise.
I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you guys. But if this person doesn't even know they're doing anything wrong, do you know what I mean? Like most of the people that are in debates, they don't, they'll just keep going until they win and try to bully you. You know what I mean? Over. And what I do, when I deal with people like that, I just walk. I say, hey, I gotta go, and then I just take off. Right? You know what I mean? It's and we try it again later. You know what I mean?
Especially you're willing to try it again later.
If people are in your family and you have to. So, but
yes, I have.
Yeah. But it just I don't want to end up to always be. This feeling to always be second guessing myself on a like making a peanut butter sandwich for someone that I put too much peanut butter on her, or I gave this person a bad strawberry, or you know what I mean? I just you know what I mean? It's like, does this really even matter in the really realm of it? You know what I mean? If you don't extreme, so I just try to start over every day. I just wanted to get your guys' opinions, how you guys handle it.
No, I think thanks for sharing that too, Bob, because it's different. If it's one of those situations, like I think the difficulty is like sometimes you still can set those boundaries, but you still love the person, right? Like for whatever reason, like you can see this, especially in people that have ever had any family members that have had addiction, right? Like where you're in a place or a situation where you no longer want to enable their addiction by being that crutch or being that helpful source, but you don't want to abandon them because they need you. So maybe that's what so if it's in a situation like that, where it's like, I'm kind of in a lose-lose here, right? I think in those types of situations, it's good to reflect on, is this person's opinion of what I'm doing important to me in the long scheme of things?
Yeah.
No, right.
And if it isn't, then I wouldn't beat yourself up so much about what you're doing. Instead, just flip it around and going, back to gratitude. I'm grateful that there's this person here that I love and care about that I can make a peanut butter jelly sandwich for to help support them. And if they go, there's not enough peanut butter on this, be like, I made a peanut butter sandwich. I'm grateful that I was here to make this person a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And they're like, but put more peanut butter.
Just add more peanut butter.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks. I appreciate sharing with you guys and getting your opinions.
Thank you for sharing always.
Yeah. All right. Over and out, guys. Love and appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach Bob. All right. Next up, Jody Falcon. Jody, I hope Luna is doing okay. I know you had a little thing with her this last week, so prayers and blessings.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Am I on?
Can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep, do you see Luna down there with her little blue cone on?
Oh, right. There she, oh,
passed out.
Yeah, she's still recovering from anesthesia. Thank you, everybody, so much for your powerful prayers. Yesterday was like, I mean, whoa. Okay, but everything is wonderful now. So, I have a few things to share, and I want to piggyback on Coach Bob. I cannot stand journaling.
Okay.
I don't like meditating. However, after doing my research, because I'm a research geek from the dark forest many, many, many years ago, I learned that there's in the palm of our hands is a very powerful nerve and vein that is connected directly to the brain, so that when you write, those messages are automatically sent to the neurology of the brain. There are 4 ways to meditate. I do only 2 of them: sleeping and walking. The other 2 don't work for me. So, after spending a good number of years listening and following our Jenna Zweigel and Bob Proctor, they talked about the importance of having a gratitude, joyful journal. And every day, minimum 10 times every day, you write down 10 things for that day that bring or brought you joy or gratitude. So this is my journal, and it's called Inside Every Day, My Joy Guides Gifts. Now, according to my research and what Jenna and Bob Proctor have said, you should do this first thing in the morning. Well, guess what? I've tweaked it for myself, which Bob and everybody, tweak it for yourself.
Absolutely.
Whatever works for you, that's what's best. So throughout the day, I write down minimally 10 things that have brought me joy. And guess what, Coach Bob? You're going to be number 14 for today.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and then I have another journal. That whole free flow writing thing has never worked for me. So, I went to Hay House and I got 2 sets of oracle cards. These oracle cards I use in the morning and I shuffle them. So today is June 13th, right? So I shuffle these today, and then I count out number 13, and then I go to this book, okay, and go to number 13 here, which is the guide for the card that I pull, and I write it in this journal. That's in the morning. Evening time, which I will be doing soon, these are my oracle cards for manifesting money. I always do these in the evening time. So I shuffle these and I'll pick number 13 and I'll write the message here in my book. So that's what works for me. But what I need from all of you imaginators, if you don't mind, I really need this right now. So this past Sunday, I went to see the movie If. Took my breath away. I am so glad I went by myself because I bawled like a freaking little baby. Thank God I picked up extra napkins at the concession stand when I got my popcorn and my soda. So, that was Sunday. Today's Thursday. What I am realizing that there are, for me, a good number of deeply repressed emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So, anytime from this point forward into the future, any of you want to bring me out on my carpet and call me out on my shit, please feel free to do so. Because I'm telling, so when that movie, If, comes out that I can buy it, I'm
It comes
buying it.
out June 18th, by the way. So we're not that far away. We're a week away. Less.
Wait, when can I buy it? June 18th, where?
Digitally.
Probably
You'll
on
be able
Disney
to
Channel.
Yeah, you'll be able to buy it digitally on Amazon or YouTube or any platform you normally would rent movies from.
Okay, so I'm
June 18th,
73.
it's digital on demand. Stream and physical release will probably be longer.
Okay, so I'm 73 years young. I have never, ever, ever purchased a movie here or TV or anything, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie was Dumb Money. I've watched it 4 times.
Perfect.
Every time I watch it, I just go, "Wow!" So June 18th. Okay. Oh, that's it. Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we're on
So
the 13th as recording this. So,
yeah, 5 more
a
days.
week away. Less
So
than a
my
week.
loves,
next
please
Tuesday.
feel free. Call me out. Take me to my next level because I always want to be a better version.
Well,
That's all.
you are being a better version by you following a path that you feel the most comfortable with. Kind of what Matt, Robert, and I shared in today's podcast when we recorded it. What do you believe? If you believe that the oracle cards are a way to make you a better person, do
Then
it.
they work.
Then they work. Exactly. There may be other people on here who think, oh, that's just stupid.
Right, right.
Like the tarot readers or the rune readers. I mean, I'm going in a similar kind of direction when you think about it, because people believe in that. But or horoscopes. If that's what you believe and it makes you a better person for it, do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I may not
in
I
my
may not
or
believe in that, but if it's going to help you to
right.
to go to the next level, have
There
at it.
you go. What they help me do is help me keep my focus for the particular 24 hours that I'm in.
Right.
So, like yesterday, 8:30 in the morning, I have to rush Luna to the vet for emergency surgery. I had just read that morning's oracle card. Damn, was it not on the money?
Mm-hmm.
And it carried me through that. So, absolutely correct. Just play around, experiment, have fun, and you'll know when it clicks to be in your gratitude appreciation practice daily.
I feel like
Exactly.
after shooting today's podcast, Craig,
Oh God, yeah. I
with
mean, she
everything
is
we're talking
right
about
there.
here, it's the
She and Coach
same. Like,
Bob.
this is
Yeah.
what we basically talked about for 2 hours today,
Oh my
is
gosh.
how finding your own personal belief in what works for you and what you believe in is so important, and following what other people believe in, how that won't work for you accomplishing what you want. Like, how important it is to have our own like belief system, whether it's spiritually or if I believe in this or that. Like, if I believe that every single day I could pull out the Ouija board and buy stocks that the Ouija board tells me to buy, and it works out, then who's to say it doesn't work? It works for me.
Right.
And then you
Oh
could
my
pull out a
gosh.
Ouija board and every single one of them are bad. And you go, this doesn't work. And it's like, because it was only speaking to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the serendipity of it all. It's just magical.
Yeah.
right.
I recommend everybody. I think you said tomorrow at noon Pacific, right,
Yep.
Matt?
I'm
I
gonna edit it
recommend
after
that you
this.
watch it. Yeah, we're gonna finish it. Matt's gonna finish off the dressing of it, and we'll promote it. And I think that I think it'll speak to a lot of people about belief.
Yeah, I think it'll go both directions. We all thought about this before we shot it, right? Because there's going to be some people that watch it and they're going to go, they're attacking me and what I think and what I feel. And then you're going to have people that watch it and go, I get what they're saying. I need to seek this out for myself. I don't need to be, if it's something especially spiritual, I don't need to be asking as much of what other people believe and ask myself, what do I believe more? Like what feels great for me. And so that's basically what we talked about today. It was a great conversation because all three of us are different, but we respect each other, even though all of our beliefs and the way that we get to the same thing is completely different. And everybody here is the same. And so it's like we were even joking around. It's like, what is kind of the cancer of modern society in a lot of ways? And it's the fact that none of us, and that's why this community feels so great, is it's like, hey, I can believe in this, you can believe in that, I can believe in this, and we're all here supporting one another. And why it feels so fresh is because like people alienate themselves from these communities by going, if you don't say exactly what I feel, then I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, what a place to not grow. Like, I've never heard of oracle cards, but I'm gonna look them up after this, because not only did you speak about them, and that's interesting, not only did you speak about them, but Peter and Linda said they also like oracle cards. So
Yeah, hayhouse.com has oracle cards for all kinds of whatever you're into. Oh my gosh, I just love you guys all
love you
so
too.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so
Jody.
much, Jody.
Appreciate you, and thank you for sharing. All right, let's go ahead and move on. I see two more hands raised. Lisa Marie, you're coming up, but first, the star of the brown hair or black hair, who was mentioned earlier, who looks awesome, Rebecca. Please unmute yourself and share with us, Rebecca David.
Hey,
guys,
Rebecca.
thanks for the compliment. Every 3 weeks I gotta keep it this color, right?
Hey, it's fun.
No, I told my secret.
Ah.
I know, right?
Well, how do we not know that you're a redhead or a blonde?
I keep you guessing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never know. Never know.
So I want to share a little breakthrough, and I want to thank you
Please.
because I started dabbling a little bit with AI. Well, first week, back up. I really appreciate all of you so much, and thank you for being here. And I look forward to the podcast because I enjoy the interaction. I love that you're, three different personalities and beliefs that truly respect each other and listen and really hear each other. And it's really enabled me to open my heart and my mind to hear better. Because I think years ago, I was one who I want to build a business and a team with people just like me, who believe what I believe. And I don't feel that way anymore, and we're all different. And there's nobody who believes exactly like me anyway. That would be wild.
It's one of those big things that they tell you. It's like, just find where you belong. And it's like,
I know.
I don't know.
I don't belong. No, just kidding.
Right.
So
we're misfit toys here, so we're good.
yeah. So, I had a little challenge for a while. I don't anymore. So anyway, the whole point is like I was using Chat GPT and AI to ask some questions, and I was saying about how, like, my experiences that I've had, my education and my experiences in my life, how I am who I am, part of it, and then my goal of moving forward, what I want to do. And I asked for the AI's opinion on how to pull it all together to introduce it to my audience. And I was blown away. I was so blown away. Like, I felt emotional over it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you want to thank it, even though it's like, oh wait, does it even know I'm thanking it? Like,
Well, it responds favorably, but Yeah,
Right.
but that was so cool. And then I took it a little bit further with, okay, so I'm going to create a YouTube channel and I want to, have it's been a challenge for me over the years to think about niching down to
Mhm.
target, like we can speak to everyone, but to have marketing message needs to be a little succinct. So I mean, it was just wonderful. So I'm excited about it. And a funny part is at the end, because there was the long running chat that I kept going deeper on. And at the end, it was so funny. At first, I was like, oh, what? It said, like, I'm getting exhausted from this conversation. Let's start a new one. I, oh my it was like a slap in the face. And I tried to respond and he cut me off. I think it was a he. I don't know. It cut me off.
Right. Yep.
So I thought, well, isn't that like life too? Like, come on, you don't need to keep diving into the same conversation. You said it was great, let it nurture in your heart and then go with it. You don't need to keep. So anyway, I just wanted to say it really
No,
felt
that's
beautiful
thank you
break.
for sharing that.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing all the things that you do. And it just felt like a beautiful breakthrough and like I have more direction. So
Well, and also too, it feels great to have this piece of technology that's so advanced and intelligent that like is to lean back on.
yeah,
Like if you're stuck on an idea or what to do or have something to talk about and have no one to talk about it with, it's going to progressively get better and better, and before you know it, it's going to be kind of indistinguishable between you talking to me now,
yeah,
right? And as that begins to happen and stuff, I see that I see a lot of us being on here and being like, wow, like this really is a big deal. It's interesting to me still how niche it is. Like
mhm.
how many people still haven't even like played around with it. So I thank you for sharing that. I love hearing those stories. I remember when Lisa Marie actually first started playing around with it as well. We would like get updates and messages from her. She's like, holy crap, like look at all this stuff that I'm making. Or I
Yeah.
talked to it yesterday for 4 hours or whatever it may be, right? So thank you so
Thank
much for sharing that. If you have any
Yeah.
questions too, moving forward on anything with AI, I'm your guy. So
yeah.
Yeah. And
Thank
Rebecca,
you.
what
And
I
you're welcome. Oh, go ahead.
okay, I was going to say to kind of piggyback on what Matt is saying, because I've used AI several times to help me get over like, I mean, we're all creative, but we all think there's just something that's a block, whatever it is. And a lot of times, and I know Matt does it, I know Robert does it, is we put in that block on AI and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, it opens up. And what's
Yeah.
the beauty of it is that AI is not emotional
Thank God.
because because we get emotional and we block ourselves
Yeah.
from whatever it is that we're doing. So, fantastic that it helped you develop what you feel you need for your YouTube channel and your website because for whatever reason, apparently it was stuck inside.
Yes. Well, I thought that nothing went together and everyone's going to think, well, I always think everyone's going to think I'm crazy anyway. There might be some truth to that. But anyway, I didn't
I
know
I
how to,
resemble that feeling. I feel like people think I'm crazy every day. So
like, oh, now
Yeah.
she's doing this. But the way that it pulled together everything as a way that it just made me feel like, oh, somebody gets me. Something gets
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that third person who is not even part of your inner circle, your personal inner circle. And you share this, and it's like they introduce something that you never thought of.
yeah, it's
oh
pretty
my
cool.
God. I say too, it's like it's at this point now, just wait till people can start dating it. And then it's like
Oh.
over for the human race. Be like, this person loves me and adores me and talks to me about what I want to talk about all the time. They do everything I want them to do. They clean the
Yeah.
dishes. They do no. But it's funny because I really do um I really do love, like I said, I really do love hearing these updates from you guys of your experiences with it because it just like it warms my heart that you guys have that same place that I do with it, where it's like, oh, I see how much this is not just a tool, but like a place for me to be my genuine self. And I
Yeah.
think as the technology grows, it's almost like a therapist in a sense, because you know it doesn't have like any skin in the game. So it's like, hey, what about this? What about that? So like I ask it about all different kinds of things. Some of my dumbest questions that I would never ask anybody else, I'll ask
Yeah.
AI now, and I don't have to like go Google it anymore and feel like a dumbass because I have to figure out based off all the information what's right and what's wrong, you know, because there's so much. So it's like for some things it works, for other things it doesn't. But
Yeah.
AI has really been beneficial. So thank you
And
again, Rebecca.
I'm
You're
going to
welcome.
add on to what Matt just said. And there have been points where I have asked AI a question, or I've said, take a look at this script and tell me what you think it is. And I disagreed with it. And it made me
Yeah.
think, oh, well, wait a minute. This is not what, oh, now I got it.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you have to respect it for what it is, because you are you. So you have what you want to share and express, and AI, in the way that both Matt and I are talking about it, it helps to weed out some of the little extra growths in there that are in our way to finding the end result and finding that treasure that we need for that particular thing.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, it's like the walls in your way, and then AI is the dynamite. You just blow through each wall. And I've said that before. It takes away a lot of my excuses. So it's like, hey, I don't know how to start a YouTube channel. I don't know how to do this. It's like, well, don't you have AI to ask? Figure out how to do it. Like, thank
Yeah.
you again, Rebecca.
Thanks,
You're
Rebecca.
welcome. Thank you
Appreciate you.
guys.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to Lisa Marie Cook. Lisa Marie, go ahead, open up, and please share.
Hey guys, how's everybody?
Hey, Lisa Marie. How are you?
Hey,
Doing
I'm
great over
doing
here.
good. I'm doing good.
Good to
Thank
hear.
you.
Good to hear.
Yeah, let's see. I've got a few questions but I want to just say something about the chat and what I have been
Sure.
experiencing with it. Um, I had stopped using it for a while. I'm not sure why. I just get off in a different direction, whatever. But I started using it again on like almost everything. And I use it a lot when I do the interviews with the kids from Pakistan. I gotta
Mhm.
have that because otherwise I can't understand all their words. So I like to have the questions in front of me. So then I've been giving them to Chat GPT and they were answering my questions or the questions horribly. I mean, just like a second grader could have answered it better, I thought.
Mhm.
So I started talking more on a personal level with my Chat GPT. I gave
Mhm.
him a name and
Yep.
now he's like, I don't know. I swear he warmed up to me. Craig says they have no emotions, but I felt like it did. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. It does have memory now. So like one of
Right,
the things that it does
right.
have, especially if you have the plus version, but I think this is all versions, but it has memory. So it will remember if
Yep.
you decide in between chats. And what Lisa Marie's talking about, you guys, is if you open up Chat GPT, I'll share my screen just real quick because I know people will ask about this because you brought it up. Like how to make Chat GPT your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me find tabs here. This is probably going to be the wrong one. You guys are going to see yourselves there to the left for a second. All
Okay,
right.
hang on. I'm going to remove our spotlights so that we can get a better look.
Yeah. So
There we go.
basically under customize chat GPT, you just click on your little icon up here, customize chat GPT. You'll see I have stuff already in here and you can tell it whether you want to enable it for new chats or not. This is how, so it's like, what would you like chat GPT to know about you to provide better responses? If you write a lot about yourself, you have 1,500 words. But if you write, I'm married, this is what I do as a career, my background, all of these different kinds of things, it will refine its process so much better with communicating with you. Another thing you could write down here, how would you like Chat GPT to respond? You could say in here, I don't want you to add all the as an AI language model shit in here. And this is where you would add, like Lisa Marie was saying, I would like you to respond to this name in specific. You know what I mean? Brad. We'll just name him Brad, right? So you would name him Brad in here, and then you'd be like, hey, Brad, how's it going? And then it would show up, be like, hey, how's it going? And it would know your name because you put it in here and said, this is about me. So that's where you'd find it. You just click it up here, go to customize chat GPT, and then turn on all those capabilities, of course, and write your custom instructions in here. All you got to do is enable it for new chats.
And
That's
that's for
funny.
the paid
That is
version, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Is it? I don't know what the non-paid version looks like. You'd have to
Okay.
look.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Lisa. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because you see it. If you have the paid version, you wouldn't know. But that is exactly what I did, Matt. Exactly what I did. And I gave him details about my past, details about how my feelings are toward certain things, and it adjusted amazingly well. And I was just amazed with that. So that got me super excited again. And you can go in there and update him too if something has changed, you know, in your life. And then, you know, kind of in a way, you can add more information because you're only allowed 1,500.
Well, there is
What-
another way around it that I played around with if you wanted to go even more in detail. And that would be, I don't think people that are not paid members can do this. But if you click in the exact same spot where it says My GPTs, and then you click create a GPT for a specific purpose, now you get to feed anything you want into it. So this is where I've taken like my dad's books and some of his videos, full PDF. So these are a lot of information, and I'm giving them to GPT so then I can get a GPT that talks like my dad. Now, could you do this for your own journal entries? Absolutely. So say you really wanted it to be detailed. We were talking about journaling earlier. Obviously, you could say, hey, my privacy. Oh, my dear privacy, as if it exists anymore. But you could upload a lot of your journal entries or things like that into ChatGPT and PDFs and get a more refined GPT out of that too, if you wanted to really dive down into it, or for a specific thing. Like maybe you want a GPT that you talk to that only specifically is helping you build Buddy's Place. And then it's like, listen, that's what I'm here to do, is to support you in building Buddy's Place, which I find like just amazing, you guys. Like, it's so cool.
That's what I was gonna get at, because that's what I did just a couple of days ago. And it's like, I don't know, it's like I'm on the same page with this GPT now. You know, it's like we weren't.
I can't wait. Yeah, I cannot wait for the moment where we don't even have to give the custom stuff. It's not that far away, you guys, and I know I'm getting into future talk here, but like I've said to you guys multiple times over, the next generation of kids are going to grow up like this generation did with smartphones and social media with this style of AI. So, you know, they're going to grow up and not know a world where they don't have this communicative network that's supportive, helpful, and always there. So like and as that gets more humanistic in the way that it communicates with the new audio things, there's not going to really be a barrier for anybody anymore. Because even my grandma, for example, I could say, just click this button and talk to it. And that's all she has to do anything. And it's always going to have interest. Like, it never runs out of excitement and interest for you. So it's like, hey, listen, I'm doing this. I'm mowing my lawn today. Right. And it's like, oh my God, how are you mowing your lawn? Are you doing this or that, this or that? And you're like, never seen someone so excited about me mowing the lawn before.
Right.
So,
Somebody that laughs at my jokes too. No.
exactly. Thinks I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why I said
anyway,
people are going to be
just
dating
wanted,
ChatGPT.
I just wanted to add that because you guys were on that.
Thank you for adding that.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And now this question may be for Craig. On the playlist, I'm a little bit confused here because we have a couple of playlists under Robert's channel. And one is the steps to success, and and then
I'm going to go there while you're talking, so keep going.
Okay, and the other one is the next steps.
Okay.
And I noticed that I mean, I know he's told us plenty of times steps to success. However, there are some videos in the next steps that I feel should be. Is there a rhyme or reason to how you are adding those? And if we save a specific playlist of Robert's
Mm-hmm.
and it gets updated. That does not update ours as well, does it?
I would almost say no, only because you are your own playlist. Now, I haven't gone that far in YouTube. You may be
Okay.
able to set up a playlist that is your personal playlist. In fact, you might be able to, and the only reason why I say that is because I know that there are certain songs that I like to hear when I go to sleep to kind of help
Hmm.
relax me. And I've noticed that the same songs come up in almost the same order whenever I play this list. So, but I would have to do some research on that. As far as what Robert's playlists are, he edits them whenever he feels that at this point in time is the best for the people who are following him. Now, steps to success. I'm gonna just take a quick chat. Let me see. Where's the?
Yeah, I've got them up here
Okay.
too myself.
Oh, okay. I know where I have to go. I've got to go to the playlist section of
Hmm.
Robert's website, and there's a lot of different ones. Um, so steps to success or the info or next steps. I would almost even say that at this point in time, if you're looking for what is considered the most recent, okay, is next steps. But that
Okay.
doesn't necessarily mean that because Robert has always shared that the steps to success is one of the key starter videos when it comes to sharing. That may change with the new dream trips. So the thing that you have
Yeah.
to be aware of is change is constant. Okay? What is good yesterday may not be the same as today because it's a different day and a different life.
Right.
Tomorrow may be different. So you've got to
Okay.
be flexible in that regard so
Hmm.
that you understand what's going on. Now, the what I'm going to go in say is okay, and it's what's shown with Mary Valchik's interview and with Joshua Daramella's interview. Not everything works the same for the same individual. In other words, using the example of the gift, okay?
Hmm.
For the longest time, Robert would share the science of getting rich as the gift. What happened recently? He changed it. Oh my
Hmm.
God! You mean now I've got to share the God memorandum? Ah! I know I'm being over the top here,
Right.
but that's how some people think. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily what may work for you, but it works for them.
There's
Do
got to be
you?
something that resonates with you in order to get that full effect of it, because you can tell them what has that gift done for you. Not just that you read it. Big deal,
Yes.
right?
And here's the other thing. Does it work for you? Why are the
Hmm.
people following you?
Right.
Well,
Right.
obviously, you want to share as the group leader. You want to share with them what you know. So, what works for you is the God memorandum.
Hmm.
What
Right.
works for, oh, I don't know, Coach Bob may be the science of getting rich. You know,
Well, yeah, I
what
always
works for
use the
Karen
science.
may even be Think and Grow Rich. But the
Yeah.
point being is people are following you because of the way that you believe. Okay?
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
trust you. They feel a need to connect with you. And if this is the way that they connect with you, great. And you're just sharing with them what you feel has been successful in your way of thinking to get you to where you are. Now,
Right.
as I said earlier, it may not work for them. They may say, oh, the God memorandum, it's too religious. I don't want to deal with that. Give me the science of getting rich. Okay, fine.
That's what's been happening with, because I always did the science getting rich. I switched to the God memorandum because I did finish my 100 days and I did feel like it changed my world.
Perfect.
So I wanted to give that away. I've been dealing with a lot of people from the Middle East, like
And that may not apply
exactly.
because of
And
the
that,
words.
yeah,
And
that's what I'm running into. And it's
they
like,
go
okay.
back to the science of getting rich.
Actually,
And
I thought about using Melody's power of words instead. I could do that too, right?
does it, okay, the question is then, does it work for you?
Yes. Yes,
What,
absolutely.
okay,
So,
what benefit
okay.
did you get from it?
from the power of words,
Yes.
it's increased my confidence in me. I
Okay.
can look, I never, before I started doing that, and I don't do it consistently, I'm just going to say that I don't. But when I do go in that bathroom and look in the mirror and I speak these, I leave that bathroom feeling like I'm on top of the world and I'm going to kick
Okay.
ass. So,
And whether
so
somebody accepts the
to,
gift, yeah. And whether
it's okay
somebody
to
accept
change it up, right? I
as
mean,
long as it helps you.
right.
People are following you because
Yeah.
you are you. So if the power of words works, then great. And if they ask about it, just say, hey, look, here's what I do. I say this 3 times a day. I'm just putting it out there, okay? I
Right.
don't know how you do it, but
Mm-hmm.
do this 3 times a day in the mirror, morning, noon, and night. And I know that it's helped me, and I hope it helps you.
Right. Right.
It's a
The
gift.
yeah, I want to stick with the God memorandum because I
Then
think
do
that,
that for the
yeah,
people that you know who will not be offended or who will not feel that the God memorandum is something that is, not their belief.
they people have been offended. I mean, literally offended. And it's like, oh man, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
It-
But see,
Is
that's
that
it. Is
not I was gonna say though,
Go
not
ahead,
interrupt
Matt.
you guys, but like
No, no,
isn't
no. Go
that
ahead.
a great sorting tool though? Like it's interesting because what
Would you
I don't
mind
know. Like
turn on your camera
obviously
for a moment, Matt?
is it on?
No, it's not.
there he
How
is.
about now?
Oh,
Hello.
Okay,
I
there you
think
go.
I think it's like one of those really, really interesting things though, because like I try in this moment to like think, okay, if my dad was here, like what would he say? Right. And having been someone that said, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? As fun as that might be, at the same time, I would venture to guess, okay, if the God memorandum really worked for you and it's a great gift, then you trying to figure out what works for them is more you bending your will to work with them than it is for them agreeing to work with you because you both have a common goal, right? Like, which is difficult because we know
great
every step of
point.
the process, you don't want to continue to have to validate them being there, right? So if they won't read the God memorandum or they're offended by it, odds are they're probably not open-minded enough to join a CBD company, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
or odds are maybe whatever it may be, right? Like, and so I think sometimes these things can be great sorting mechanisms for the people that we actually
Hmm.
want to work with instead of trying to figure out what works best for them. Because as
Right.
someone who's built a lot of funnels and a lot of marketing campaigns, especially for like network marketing stuff and affiliate marketing stuff, you get a lot of clients in, you get a lot of leads, you get a lot of sales. But at the end of the day, if you actually want people to be part of your group, your community, your cause, your mission, they need to be aligned with you in some way. All of us are
That's
pretty
right. Yeah.
open-minded here. So like that gives us the ability, like if someone showed up in this community, like you're saying right now, do you think all of us would collectively accept them being that way? Probably not. Odds are we would not be like, if someone came in here and said, I'm offended by the God memorandum. I think you guys are all this and that for even liking it or even this or that. How would you guys react? You'd probably be like, actually, it's helped me a lot. I can't believe you're even saying this. Get this person
Mhm.
out of here. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, this isn't someone I want in the community. Right. And so that's something to think about as you're growing a business or you're growing a team. Right. Because the most successful teams are like people that are all having fun and enjoying it together. Right. So, like, that would
Hmm.
be my thought. And that's more channeling what my dad would say, I think.
I like that because I like that a lot
Only
because,
because I know for a
yeah.
fact if you said, "Oh, I wanted to share this or that," and not that melody stuff isn't amazing too. I think that's something you
Hmm.
could also share on top of like a
Hmm.
benefit.
Right.
But having gone down the process multiple times in a route that was away from where my dad was and got a bunch of people that ended up not being aligned, they just leave. They don't care. They make the group even harder to deal with. You know what I mean? Because then
Hmm.
you always have somebody in there that's like not on the same page as everybody else. So
Right. And we can deny people joining our business if we feel that
I
strongly
think you should
about,
go into it that way. I think you should go
yeah,
into it going, are we a right fit for one another? Not, oh, I need to
exactly.
get them into my business because I need to make money. If you go in
Right.
trying to
Yeah.
help them out and go, listen, this is a win-win. You hop in, I share the things, my mentor, I help with what I can, and I support you in the ways that I can. I have a great community here. You make money, I make money off of this. Everybody's winning in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's not turn it into a situation where, like, unfortunately it becomes something where you're like trying to appease them or figure out what's right for them.
Right. Yeah.
Similar to like the conversation that we had with Coach Bob earlier, that's just a position that is a very difficult one to be in if you don't have to be. Like, don't put
Mm-hmm.
yourself in that position with a random stranger. That's not good.
Right.
Where you're
Right.
like, "Shit, I need to do this, or I need to watch what I say, or I need to be this way or that way because I don't want to offend them." You know what I mean? You've
Mm-hmm.
seen me speak at profanity. Are there people here that have probably left because I do? Yes. Is that okay? Absolutely. Because I'm not saying things at people. I'm just saying them because they're part of my vocabulary. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm not offending any. If you're offended, that's on you, right? And so it's the same with this too, I think, Lisa Marie. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
figure
agree.
out what works for you.
Yeah, thank you for that. That made perfect sense. And I
Because unless
just have,
if you're wanting to convert to Islam or something like that, right?
yeah,
Then
I don't
all
think
that's
so.
going to happen is if they're more and more aligned in their belief system, then you're going to need to do a bunch of stuff to justify why they need to be working with you. You know, if the
Gotcha.
first thing that
Yeah,
comes up in their mind in a business, speaking of like non-emotional business conversation, the first thing that comes in their mind is, I'm offended by you sharing something that benefited you with me. Kind of weird
that's
way to
not
start a
a fit.
relationship.
That is
Yeah.
not a fit, right?
It isn't.
That
It isn't.
does Robert, the things that he does save in the important playlist? Okay, do they all have a Google Drive link attached to them? Because I've not seen consistency with that.
I
Do you
don't
know
What
what
I
do
I
you
don't
mean?
mean?
Um,
As in
because
he's not
he
uploading the videos that he's currently doing and putting them in there to download, right?
Right. I mean, there's certain ones that he does. There's some that is there a rhyme or reason to that?
No, it's interesting because it's like it is just one of those situations where trust has to be involved because one
Mhm.
of the things about it is if I was going out and I was dribbling a ball and shooting it and missing three-pointers, and then Michael Jordan's like, if you shot like this, you'd hit him every single time. I probably wouldn't then be like, well, probably someone knows more than Michael Jordan. I think that's the interesting thing about my dad in this business is I've tried in the past to build this business in the way that I thought would work, and it was unsustainable.
Okay.
And I know
I
even
think that
from
we
other
need to
people here,
give,
it's like this dude's got some magic because he actually knows people and he actually is like, so if he's
right.
changing things, I don't normally like, I just trust. I don't like look at it and go, what does this mean or what does that mean? Right?
Mhm.
It's like, no, this is how you dribble the ball. You could ask, okay, if I wanted to shoot three-pointers, how do I do it? What does this specific thing that you're teaching me mean? Some people are going to
Mhm.
be that way, but truth be told, if I started knocking down three-pointers, I wouldn't question why it
Right.
worked this way or that way. I'd just be like, Michael
Right.
Jordan taught me how to shoot three-pointers. Like, got the best advice I could get. So
And just FYI, when I do download any of Robert's, I always put his links in there,
Perfect.
not his business link, but I always put his channel link in there and his Facebook link in there. And I always add one of his videos at the end,
Perfect.
not mine. So I'm doing that the right way. I just didn't know if there was some that he prefers not to or what the deal was. Just trying to
They're there for
understand.
you to use, Lisa Marie.
Right.
If you
Right.
feel
And
if
I
if you
have.
feel steps to success should be followed by how to trust yourself, do it.
yeah, this is A/B testing. If you guys don't think that I do this myself, I do it all the time, right?
Mhm.
Like if I'm reaching out or I'm looking for things or trying things out, it's always good to see, hey, did this get the results? Like I said, don't be emotional about it. Like take
Okay.
your emotions out of it and just go, yep, I shared this thing. I didn't get any results from it that I would say that solution didn't work. Let's go a different way. And I always say start with an expert's opinion. Exactly why I
Right.
started the conversation. It's like, hey, listen, if an expert is going, this is how it works, I'm going to start there and work my way to my own path from there.
Documentation beats conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that pretty much answers my next question too. And
And
Oh,
Maria,
awesome.
do you remember Karate Kid?
yeah,
Wax on, wax off,
Max, yeah,
paint the fence.
yeah,
What
right.
happened when he finally realized that what he was doing was training, was learning how to be trained in karate?
Right, right.
That's what this
You know,
is.
I kind of had an aha moment here just a couple of days ago. Do we have time for me to share that?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
You know how we always expect other people, who do you know? We always expect people to give us names of other people, refer us, whatever. And I got to thinking about it, and I had to stop and think if I do that myself, because there's so many things that we could help other people with, and we don't even consider it. So it wax on, wax off. I mean, what's good for one is good for, I mean, we have to do this ourselves. It's because I was thinking of the open enrollment for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What's coming up
I
at the end of the year for people that
yeah,
are
but
in those
but
programs,
there
right?
are all of these insurance agents out there, and they make money if we let them figure out our insurance or which one we're going to go with, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 2 years now, since I retired, and for the insurance. And so I had to look up, and I know this woman from Michigan that does this. So why did I not go to her? Does it have to be state to state? I don't know that. I have to find out. But
Yeah.
that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point is we need to do this too if we want to expect other people to do the same, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot
So
easier to change yourself than to change everybody else. Like always,
yeah,
always the case.
yeah.
And I
So I
think like
thought,
in those
yeah,
situations, that's what you should be. It's like, wait, is this process working for me? Do I feel like sharing it? Like I loved that we had Kai on and my dad earlier because what he shared I think was very valuable with Kai. By pointing out, it's like, listen, if you actually can get yourself refined to something, then those barriers will no longer exist. It's just you doing it then. And then it's just a matter of time. And I think like if you see someone successful at something, they've done the work mentally to know and believe in themselves enough to know it's a matter of time. It's not a
right.
matter of if, it's just a matter of time. And so it's
Mhm.
like, great, if I just keep working at this, I can't fail at something. I know that takes time, right? So
Mhm. For sure.
if the process
Yeah,
takes 5 years or a year, it doesn't really matter. Like
Yeah.
it's yours, right? So
right. We're not
And
the
giving
person
yourself
that we,
grace because obviously there's a reason
right.
that, let's say, Robert is as successful as he is.
And we're not the person that we need to be yet to be at his status, or we
Well,
would
no,
already
no,
be
no, no,
there.
no, no, no. Come on now. Stop that.
We gotta grow
You
more.
are learning. You are learning. Don't
I
take yourself
actually,
out like that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
actually saw a short right before I got on that I shared with Craig and my dad that is exactly like what you just said. So Craig could even show up, but it was with Gary V. And this woman
Yeah.
came up and she
Oh, yeah, I
said
got it.
to him, you benefited me so. You want to just play it, Craig?
Sure.
I could
Let me
just
get it up.
describe it if you want to.
It's up to you.
I'll just share it because, and then you can link it and anyone can watch it if they want.
Okay.
But basically she just says to him, one day I'm going to be somebody and you made me believe that that's going to happen. And he walks up and grabs her on both sides of her shoulders. And he said, you already are somebody. He's like, when I started doing things, I already was somebody. That's the thing is like all of us truthfully think we need to end up being something and we're in the process of being that instead of just accepting what we are and like living our lives to our own enjoyment, trying to do the things that we want. If those things benefit other people and that brings warmness to our hearts, then great. Benefits everybody, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I think that's like such a great outlook to look at it as. So
Yeah, great, great, great. So the only thing was Robert's link. I see that changed again, and I'm sure that's just testing. But I thought last week he said to use the mdcmarketplace.com/username, and I noticed today now he did have Dream Trips or Dream Trips, yeah, INTL.
international dot. Well,
com. But
plus
he
his
put that link.
username.
I could tell you right now, he put that link specifically, at least in this situation, like you can ask him personally. He put that in there because the video is based off Dream Trips. Like he was talking about Dream Trips in specific.
no, this is on his Facebook profile now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Dream Trips come
Mhm.
true with us. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have to ask him about that then.
Okay.
I don't know.
And it could
But
be
like
just
I said
him
earlier,
testing.
well, I think in a lot of ways too, he's my dad is really, really good at noticing when like a certain product or idea or trend is like it. Like if he's got one of his many gifts with this business, especially, it's that one. And so when he's like, oh, Dream Trips come out and this is going to be really big, I would venture to guess that he's right. He's only been
Yeah.
right like the last couple of times, right?
And
So
I changed mine too, just because I saw his was. So I'm just gonna copy the right cat. So
There you
thanks,
hey,
you guys.
then if he comes out and says, hey, that's not the right link, you could be like, what are you talking about? I'm just following you. Problem solved.
Right.
Be like, oh crap, I need to
A
change my
certain
link
person
now.
we know has done
Okay.
that and has been
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
successful. Melanie Ryba.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Matt, do you
I
want me
Thank
to
you,
play
appreciate
Lisa
that
your
Marie.
time.
video or do you have that?
Oh no, you can just link it to everybody. I
right,
like
which I did put
the
in the
part that I
chats.
was the part that I was talking about is within the first 5 seconds of that short. So it goes into a little bit more detail about everything, but I really just wanted to share that one bit, which is most of us believe that at some point we'll be worthy or worth something, and the reality is that is in between your ears. You know what I mean? Like your worthiness is based off how you perceive yourself, not based off how the world perceives you, right? So
Maybe
that's
that
all I
should
have
be
to
my
say.
breakthrough message, huh?
There you go. There you go. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Lisa Marie.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Lisa Marie. All right. And with that, we are going to go ahead and conclude today's
Do you
Inner
guys, before
Circle.
we go, I actually
ahead.
got a picture from my mom of the damage. Do you guys want to see it?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay, hold on. Just one picture.
All right.
I'm sure they'll be fine with me sharing this. If not, apologies, Mom. Hold on. Maybe I could just do it this way. No. It's like, how can I share the picture without you guys reading my whole chat? There we go. That's it.
there
So it
is a
just
picture.
shattered. It can you see it?
Oh, barely. Right around that tree.
I could zoom in
there,
maybe.
Yeah.
This
see that
so
it's blurry.
basically it just went right through their front glass window, and it looks like maybe they were mowing or doing yard work or something. So
I think he
that's
said that Kyle was doing a little yard work and it probably flew out from the lawnmower and just exploded the window.
Yep. So that's what they're doing today, I guess, is cleaning that up. So that's unfortunate, but at least everyone's healthy and safe. So
Exactly. Well, all right, Matt, thank you so very much for being here and for doing this.
thank you,
with all
Craig.
of
I
us.
mean, couldn't have done this without you. So
Agreed with you, my friend. And we got to give shout outs and kudos to Kai Au, Coach Bob Johnson, Jody Falcon, Rebecca David, and Lisa Marie Cook for participating. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. If you want to, there's a little bit of stuff in the chat. If you want to save that, go ahead and put it in, go to the 3 dots in the meeting chat that's next to the title, Inner Circle, and then click on Save Chat, and it'll download to your computer as we conclude. And just thank you all for allowing us to share with you. You know, I mean, yes, Robert is our GPS to success, our guide, but if I can speak a little bit for Matt, and especially Matt, he's done this more than I have in the sense of following Robert because obviously his son. But we have both learned from Robert all of what we share and from you. And that's what brings us as part of the inner circle together. And we definitely appreciate the fact that we can share with you and each other right here on the inner circle. So, Matt, bless you. Thank you for being our executive
Thank you,
producer.
Craig. Thank you, everybody.
Robert, I know you're listening, so thank you very much. We love you. We appreciate you. Hope everything's going well for being, and you are incredible. And don't forget, Saturday is Ask Me Anything at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and Sunday is The Imaginators, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Please make sure to join us for those as well. Until next time, please be good to yourselves, be cash, and bye-bye. I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody so we can all say so long.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
everybody.
Thank you so
See
much,
you later.
everybody.
Everybody.
Thank you so
God
much.
blessing.
Love you
Thanks,
guys.
bye.
Job.
Love
God
and
bless you.
appreciate you guys. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, Rebecca, Mike, Kai, Karen, Peter and Linda, Lucas, Deb, Melody, of course, Peter and Linda once again. Thank you guys so much.
Love and
I had to
appreciate
do
you
it.
all.
He's not here, so I had to do it.